Tonight, mastering the toast, ladies and gentlemen, advanced communicator silver, Donna Chandler, master the toast. Excuse me, time will be from 4 to 5 minutes.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guest, Gunner. Tonight, I would like to toast all of the firefighters who came from throughout Santa Barbara County, from throughout the state of California, to fight the terrifying Rucker Road fires of just 6 days ago that threatened my neighborhood and others in the area. I would also like to toast the pilots who flew the many helicopters and planes overhead that dropped fire retardant onto the stubborn 10 fires that morphed into 3 fires by the end of the day. I would also like to toast the sheriff deputies, the 911 operators, and other law enforcement personnel who helped keep us residents informed and who came knocking on our doors, warning us that we may have to get out and get out now. It is because of all these wonderful people and first responders that our homes are safe and still standing today. My hat goes off to these brave men and women. Friday, September 30th was one of the scariest days of my life. At about 2:30 in the afternoon, I opened the door to our backyard to let our little dachshund go out to play when I suddenly saw huge plumes of black smoke, huge plumes of red smoke that looked like it was right on the other side of our backyard. It was that close. I did not have to scour to see it. I immediately called 911 to report the fire and to find out what was happening. The dispatcher told me, don't wait to get the mandatory evacuation order. Get out now. Get out now? I had no car. My car had dead battery and I had taken it to the shop. It was going to be at Toyota of Lompoc all day. Of all of the days for my car to be in the shop. I was trying not to panic, but I was panicking. I grabbed my little Lexi doggie. I held her tight under my arm like a football. I grabbed my violin and I put everything out on the front lawn next to my purse. Then I went back into the house to try to grab my little birdie, Kono, who's a conure parrot. But he was not about to leave his cage. So I was frantically trying to grab him, get him out. I didn't want to have a crisp bird just in case. And meanwhile, my little dachshund is barking and yipping in a weird way that I'd never heard her do before because she was reflecting her mommy who was panicking, and I was hysterical. I called my husband and my son, who were both at work, and I said, you need to get here now. Patrick said later I was screaming, which I did not realize. So about a half hour later, they both decided to come home to Lompoc, only to find that all of the roads into Mission Hills and Mesa Oaks were blocked, just totally blocked. There was a roadblock where Albertsons was. There was a roadblock from the village. You could not get to our area. So that was kind of bad news. Meanwhile, planes are flying overhead really low. Fire engines are racing up Rucker Road. I mean, it was a scary, scary sight. And all the power had gone out in Mesa Oaks. So what were we to do? Finally, after many hours, one of the roadways was reopened. Patrick was able to get through. Jonathan was able to get through. We all quickly packed one bag. I still had my doggie under my arm. And we headed down the hill into Lompoc, where fortunately, Patrick had the good sense to make a reservation at Embassy Suites Hotel. When he did it, I said, what do we need that for? But we stayed there. We stayed the night, Friday night, because we had no power up in Mesa Oaks anyway. Saturday morning, we came back to the house. Power was restored. Fortunately, the house was still there. Our neighbors' homes were saved as well. So we're going, hallelujah. So tonight I toast all of the firefighters and the pilots and the first responders who work so hard to protect us residents, our homes, our neighborhoods, and our churches. It was a job well done. Thank you, firefighters. And I do have a postscript. This morning, something strange happened. We have lived up in Mesa Oaks for 23 years, and I've never seen this. There was a large deer, a buck, male deer with antlers and everything, who was inside our backyard. And we've never seen that before. He was pacing frantically back and forth. And I don't know how we got in there. Patrick and I have no idea. We were about to call the animal control because this animal was in distress. And all of a sudden, he comes over to the right side of the yard. And I was videotaping him, but I put down the camera just at that moment. Within 2 seconds, he gets a running start and he leaps over the fence. And I mean leaped, he cleared it. And I'd never seen that before, so our jaws dropped. But thinking about it, I think he was displaced. He was disoriented, confused because of the fires. He was looking for his home, which was no longer there. So my heart still pounds out of my chest telling you about this. But again, I want to toast our first responders and firefighters. And Toastmasters.